Here we are back with our final day of the Disappearing Hourglass, and I am so excited for this one. I love how it turned out, just the quilt top alone, and I think the quilting and the binding is just going to take it to the next level, and I'm so excited. So as you see, we've got all these colors in here, and I was kind of thinking more about like, okay, what do I have for my binding? What do I have for these? So this is what I bought for the binding. So partially that's why the block for it ended up here in the middle, because I didn't want it touching here. So right now the plan is that that is the binding as well. At least that's the plan now. We'll see, because now I'm like debating whether to do the Christmas ornaments as the binding, if I have enough, because for my backing, I'm going to do this Kelly green. I think it was such a fun pop. Like I could have done black, I could have done red, but I don't know, the green just seems fun. We already know after our layout video that there were more green than any of the other blocks, so it just felt like it was the right choice. And so that's what's making me question to doing the red on the binding. Red binding seems to be the tricky part of these videos with On Dasher and now this one. And so I think I'm gonna see if I have enough for one thing of the black, because I had to order that, and right now we're at crunch time and I don't have time to order any more binding. And so I'm gonna see what I have, if I can make that go all the way around. If not, it's gonna be the red. But if I really hate the red, I may run to the store and get like some black Moda grunge or something. That's my like last in line, bottom of the barrel question. If I don't love the red, once it's up against the green, then I'm gonna go get a solid or something. So I'm gonna load this onto my long arm. I'm gonna find my batting. It's somewhere in this crazy room. And then we're gonna get to quilting this, which I didn't talk about yet. We're gonna do the all over holly again, but I'm gonna bring it to a little bit smaller scale than I did with the summer season quilt. I think it's just gonna add some good texture. And then we've got like some holly in here, and it'll still let these star blocks be the focus and not overwhelm it with the quilting. So see you at the long arm. Well, our hourglass is all basted in and ready to go, and the great debate was whether to do, well, what thread color to do in general, but then I narrowed it down to blue or white. I thought I was going to go with white, but the more I looked at it, it felt like it was going to be very harsh against the black, where at least this cloud blue might be a little bit less jarring. So we'll, fingers crossed, we're going to see what happens. So as far as our design, let me show you what we're working with. I'm going to do the all over holly again like I did on the On Dasher summer season quilt. I think it's going to be a good one. I did it a little bit smaller in size, so then the leaves will be a little different, and then so this one's going to run down the length. So we're going to go ahead and get it ready to quilt, and see you soon. Okay, so there is our blue cloud holly stitched on all the way through this quilt. And then I thought this was cute. This little Santa has happened to be waving in there. And then here it is on the back with the green. So now it is time to offload this and trim it all up and then find out the answer to my binding situation, whether I have enough of this to do black little ornaments, whether I do the red, or if I get a third option of solid black. So here we go. Let's get this thing off, trimmed up, and checked off the list. Well, this quilt has been so much fun to do, and I'm a little sad that it's over, but it was so worth it, and I love it. So the Disappearing Hourglass quilt is done. I couldn't imagine it turning out any more perfect. The fun blue for the blocks, and then the black as the border and the binding. Yes, I had enough to do the binding. And it just packs such a fun punch. And then on top of that, we've got a fabulous green minky backing. This is the Kelly green from Shaded Fabrics. My little quilt tag right there. And the great thing about this is it was a directional print, but I had my top that I intended to do, and because how I had the layout, but when I sewed my quilt label on, I sewed it on the wrong end. So these are great tossed prints. I didn't have to take my quilt label out and rip them all out. It's just kind of rotated it 180 degrees, but it's so fun. So this is gonna get popped in the mail and on its way to its new home. And then I'll be sitting here dreaming about how I can use this same layer cake and make a quilt of my own. And before I get to showing you the full reveal photos, let me show you my quilt sticks because I've used them 3 times now. I talked about them in my first quilt video, didn't talk about them in the last one, but I wanted to show you what they are in case it kind of left a little confusion. They're in their beginning stages. I have some revisions that I think I'm definitely going to do to them to make them a little sturdier. They have worked so far, and this is something that I wouldn't have come up on my own. It was an Instagram reel that I saw. So let me show you my quilt sticks. So all they are these are the 5-gallon stir sticks from Home Depot. I taped 2 of them together with this little clamp in between. This is the smallest size clamp. I got 4 of these. So I got 2 small ones, and then I got 2 that were a little bigger just in case this wasn't sturdy enough. But these are actually doing really well. I like the size of these better because they're kind of more like finger pinching on the end. And so what you do is you clip your corners into there and then on each side. So I clipped right on the edge there, and then you just hold them up as high as you need to. And if your wingspan's not big enough, you can go sideways, you can go whichever way you need to go. So they are very sturdy for what they are. What I plan to do is do like a screw in there. I think there's a hole, maybe there's a hole, I don't know, I guess not. Figure out some way to make it more of a stronger attachment because there is a little bit of a wobble to them, but they've done the job. People know what they're doing on Instagram. So there's those little quilt sticks. It's just duct tape, stir sticks, and little clamps. So let's take one more little look back at this quilt before I show you the pictures, and then we'll be on our way to the next one. So I realized I didn't really show you too much of it. So there is that quilting. I did that holly. I did it at the 12-inch size versus I think I did about 15 or 16 on the summer season quilt, and it did really well, and it just adds a little bit of texture. I did blue thread, and it was my husband that was vouching for white, and as soon as he saw it all done, he's like, white would have been too much against that black. So and I know I was questioning it at the beginning, but I think this red is the perfect separation between these two. It just kind of gives it a little pop of something. I think having it on the binding would have been a little too much, so I am very glad that I did have enough for the binding on here, and it just kind of wraps around to the back, gives it a little splash, and again, I love it so much. It turned out amazing, and I'm having so much fun with these. So now it's time for those reveal photos. And for reals this time. We'll see you tomorrow.